Hey everybody, got a quick tip for you. For all you guys that like to travel and do a lot of hunting out of state from where you live at, most states now won't allow you to bring back the brain tissue and the spinal tissue of the animals you hunt and the cervid animals. And that's going to be your deer animals like your elk, your moose, your whitetails, your mule deers, those types of animals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple tricks, a couple tips on how to get this thing skinned out. So that way you can get it back to your taxidermist and you get a good mount out of it. A lot of people mess them up a little bit. There's a couple of real small, easy things to do. What you're going to do first is you take this string and you're going to go from the front corner of the eye to the tip of the nose. And then you're going to take that string and cut it off there. And then you take it after you cut it and you're going to go around the neck about 3 or 4 inches below the ears. Should be about even with the jaw of the deer. Then you get that string around there and cut it off. Then what you're going to do is take both of those pieces of string that you got, which is your neck and your nose measurement. You want to roll those up and put them someplace like your wallet to keep them safe, or put them in your pocket. First thing we're going to do is what they call a Y incision, and that's on the back of the head where nobody can see it. Every animal with antlers is done this way. Alright, what you want to do is you want to take your knife and you stick it in. You can kind of see a V shape right here on most of them, but you just imagine a capital Y straight down the back of the neck, and what you do is you stick your knife in right underneath of the skin. And I always like to cut up, not cut like this, because you cut the hair if you cut across the top. But you cut up at an angle towards yourself like this, keeping the knife buried all the way down in there. And keep it as straight as possible down the center of the back. And you got your first incision for the Y. And it looks something like that. You don't have to leave this much neck. This person did, and it doesn't matter, it'll still be fine. You just open it up a little bit. Then you're going to go to the other part of the cut, which is the two ends of the Ys, which is going towards the antler. You pull this open under here, and you let the front of your knife come out. I always like to use a razor type knife, and you can feel the bottom of the base of the antler with the knife, and then when you cut, you just come right straight back at an angle, and it'll get you that cut perfect on that side. And you'll do it around this way on the other side. And you want to remember, try to keep it straight as you can, because it's important. It makes a neater job, and you'll get a better mount. That's why I'm teaching you this trick. Once you get it opened up, you get it like so, and that's where you get your screwdriver comes into play. You grab your screwdriver and you stick it right under here where you just cut plumb to the bone there. You see that pretty good. And then you'll start to pry, kind of twisting and pulling it with the other hand at the same time, and that'll help you get it loose. And you have to kind of go back and forth with the knife to get all the stringy stuff done. But you just stick that screwdriver in there and do that prying, and it'll get you started real good on that, and it'll roll off there real easy. All right, then what you have to do, if you can't go too far one way, you have to kind of go a little bit the other way, or you'll get yourself in a bind, and it'll lock up, and you won't be able to get it to skin anymore. So what you do is you just go ahead and open this on down a little job. Then when you get up to the ears, you kind of go in towards the ears here, and you'll see it as you cut. You pull it open, and you'll see it opening up, and then you'll cut the ear away. And you want to leave that little base in there, that way it protects it. But you get the ear cut away, and then you just do the same thing on the other side. All the way down as far as it'll go. You're going to get to a stopping point. You're not going to get to go any further. You got to go back here to the antler. I like to cut, you got to be careful with those breakaway knives. I like to cut just a little bit, get it started there. That way it starts to peel off, and you take your screwdriver and stick under there and start prying that sucker off. Cut as close to the bone when you're doing this on this head as possible. It'll get around to the front of the antler, and then you should be able to just pull that right loose like that, and then you got that free and clear. The next part that's important, is most important I think, is the eyes, because that way You know, if you cut that eyelid on the outside here, you know it's going to be goopy looking. You just stick your finger right in the eyeball on the outside, and when you flip it over, you'll start feeling for your other finger in there, and that way you won't cut the eyelid off. You're pulling away the whole time, as you can see, and that's the bone of the back of the eye socket. It's starting to pull away, and you're keeping that thing, that skin free and clear from the blade of the knife. And you're going to skin it all the way down till you get to the tear duct, like that. And then when you get to that tear duct, you start pulling. This is where it's pretty crucial. You want to cut right against that bone, as tight as you want to hear that bone scraping, just like that. You can hear that bone scraping, and you see I'm starting to just pull it out. And right there I go. I got it completely pulled away. No problems whatsoever. The eye is done. I did not cut any part of the eyelid whatsoever. And that's got the eyes on both sides cut away. Then you just continue down the face like so. And you get down to a point, you'll see the jaw, and you'll actually start to see the deer's teeth. You just want to pull this away. And cut as close as you can to the gums there inside the mouth. I like to pull it around like that, and then I can see what I'm doing. You know, then you can just go right under the teeth, right there, and it'll pull away, and you get that skin. In case you decide when you get home, your taxidermist may talk you into doing an open mouth mount, and you need all that lip skin you can get for those. Stay close to that hard palate on top. You're working. You about got this sucker now. Won't be long until I drop him in the floor. You get it down like that. You cut through that gristle. And I always leave a little more on here than I need to, but it's just safety. You get in a hurry and you might mess up. You just cut through the gristle until you get to the bone, and you'll feel it get hard. You won't be able to cut. So then just ease it out, and you'll get it. You'll be able to just pull it right loose like so. Okay, now that you got the skin separated from the bone and the head, you just want to turn it back inside out. And what I like to do is if you can get it to a freezer, that's the most important thing, is try to get it in a freezer. And if not, ice it in a cooler, but be sure you wrap it in a bag to keep it from getting wet, because it'll spoil. What I do is I like to take these ears and put them inside themselves, just like so. And then you want to put the lips like that, and then roll that face up on the inside. That way, if you don't get it to the taxidermist, until you have to save your money up after you've spent the money on the trip, it'll sit in the freezer and won't burn on you. That's real important. So there you got the skin. That's all took care of. Now I'm going to show you real quick how to properly cut this so you can get that skull cap clean. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it right between the eyes and antlers, somewhere in the middle, kind of at just a slight angle towards the back. I'm going to mark it with this razor blade so you can see right there. It's going to go straight down. And you'll feel it be hard at first, and then it's going to break free. You probably are going to be somewhere where you don't have a Sawzall. If you got a Sawzall, that's good, because that's what I'm using. It's quicker, it's easier, and I've done enough of them the old way. What I do is I'll just take it, and being careful there not to hit the antler. You don't want to cut a big chunk out of it. Once you get so far below the eye, on the bottom of the eye socket, you just stop right there. And you got that incision all the way back. And then, one more cut here. And what you do is you're angling from the back of the head towards the front, just like right here, to meet that incision, so this plate will come straight off, connected as one piece. At least that's the objective. You do it kind of like this. And then you feel it come loose. It did. Brains makes you get squeamish. This is not that bad. It's just gray matter. It's not bloody or nothing. That's the skull cap, clean cut, ready for the taxidermist. You probably take a knife and trim that meat off the bone there. Then you can, when you get home, show Mama, look at you, my big buck. Then you just dispose of that. And you got your head, your antlers, you got your hide, you got your string that you got your measurement off of in your pocket. You're good to go.